Hello friends, how are we all? It's great to be back with you all again. If you remember, some time back we had made a video where I had told you what are the characteristics of a good breakfast. That when a person gets up in the morning, he is like this, and after a good breakfast, he should be like this. Remember? Recall? No? Okay, here is the thumbnail of that video. You can go back and have a look at that. And today, let's take this conversation a little ahead. After the characteristics of a good breakfast, now what is the portion size of a good breakfast? So let's talk about that. And we'll not only talk about the portion of a good breakfast, we'll also talk about the portion size of lunch and dinner also. Now, to start with, this is the size of your breakfast and your dinner and your lunch. Your breakfast should be 1/4 the area marked in red. It should be either 1/4 of a plate or 1/3 of a dinner plate. It should not exceed that much. And your lunch should be 1 dinner plate or 2/3 of a dinner plate. That should be your lunch. And your dinner should be again 1/3 of your dinner plate. So that is what your dinner should be like. So how do we put that in practical? So here it is. Now let me explain that part to you all. Now for your breakfast and for your lunch, this is how you should be dividing your portion size. 50% of whatever you are having should be exclusively made out of vegetable and fruits. 1. And balance 20% should be proteins. The balance now 30% should be your starch. Now, this is what your breakfast and your lunch plate should be like. If you are increasing your starch or increasing the protein, well, you are also playing with your health. Now, coming to the dinner part. Your dinner plate surprisingly is a little now different. Vegetable and fruits 50% again, protein 30%, and starch 20%. Why I'm going on this pattern is that when you wake up in the morning and suppose you had your dinner, let's say at 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock in the night, by the time you have your breakfast, that is 8 to 9 o'clock, it's a long spell. Your body is actually being in a fast. So you're breaking that fast. That is why it is known as a break fast. The process is breaking a fast. Now, the quantity of breakfast as agreed upon by Ayurveda, as agreed upon by our medical sciences, it is approximately the same. Ayurveda takes one step ahead also. Now, Ayurveda introduces a golden plate. Now, the golden plate says your vegetable and fruit should be 75% of your intake. And your protein should be 25% of your intake. With this combination, you'll never go fat. With this combination, with all these combinations that I have told you, lots and lots of diseases will walk away from your life. This is the best way to maintain your weight, friends. Now, how do we convert all this into practical part? For example, I'm going to show you a recipe of a breakfast now. And that recipe of a breakfast totally coincides with all this theory that I have told you. One of the most ideal thing for breakfast is puffed rice, murmura or kurmura. And I have made poha out of that. Now, poha made out of puffed rice with vegetables. The total calories comes to around 73 to 75 calories per serving. That is according to one-fourth to one-third theory. So you will get around 75 calories or so, which is an ideal composition for your breakfast. There are vegetables in that fulfill the same ratio. There is starch in that fulfills the same ratio, and there is protein in that fulfills the same ratio. It is energetic. It kickstarts your metabolism. It raises your energy level. It's an excellent choice for breakfast, and above all, it has a lot of minerals, nutrients, and vitamins. So, how did I make the poha? Come, let me show you how I made it. So let's keep the recipe flexible, as we have always been doing. So for the purpose, you can take any vegetables that are available in the market or that you like, but keep your vegetables a little hard. They should not be soft. So I am taking corn, for example, as usual, and cauliflower, that is about half a cup, lemon and green chilies, that is up to your taste. You can increase or decrease, that's up to you. Carrot, about half a cup, and peas again, fresh green peas, that is again half a cup, and corn, as I always do. I always steam the normal corn. I never take American corn or sweet corn. I don't like to use them, so I use the natural corn. And lemon and green chilies, as I said, you can always increase or decrease. I'm also going to take onion and tomato. That also you can increase or decrease as per as your taste. Now remember that this I'm making is for 4 people, for 4 servings or for 4 people. And this much of vegetable is more than enough for that. Of course, as per as your liking. As I said, you can always increase or you can always decrease the vegetables. Now, along with this, we are going to take some spices and very light spices as usual. You're going to take mango powder. So I'm taking 1 teaspoon, tablespoon, but you can take more also. And jaggery and coriander, that is fresh coriander from my gardens. And pink salt as usual, and turmeric half teaspoon. Red chilies and curry leaves, mustard seeds, cumin, and red chili powder. Of course, you can increase or decrease as per as your liking, your taste. You can always adjust that. And peanuts, I'm taking peanuts, but you can always take nuts and raisins also, cashew nuts, walnuts, anything. And of course, puffed rice, as I mentioned, this is 200 grams, so about 50 grams per portion is what I have calculated. But as I said, I'm making it for brunch, so I'm going to be utilizing about 100 grams. Now, this is most important. Remember, puffed rice is always made in a mixture of salt and sand. So, liable that there is going to be some dust particles, some stone particles, some sand particles. So, you have to wash them away. So, I am deliberately doing it in a sieve, but you can do it in under the running water also for a few minutes. But I wanted to do this so that I wanted to show you that when puffed rice is actually made commercially, they are actually made in a mixture of sand and salt. So you must wash them thoroughly. You must rinse them thoroughly. You must wash them thoroughly so that the sand and the salt, excess salt, the sand and dust particles or any other foreign unwanted particles, they should be washed away. And as I remove it, I'll just show you. Look, now the puffed rice is clean. And look at the water. It's absolutely dirty. So this is what you don't want to eat, because there is sand in that, there is dust in that, and salt also. So let's start with the cooking part. You can take desi ghee, mustard oil, white butter, or any oil of your preference, even olive oil, whatever you all prefer. Add mustard seeds as soon as the medium is hot. and cumin also. And there we are. There was the cumin. First I had added mustard seeds, and now I'm going to add red chili whole. Now this is a tip. Whatever are your spices that you're going to have add whole should be this is the right stage to add them. That is right in the beginning, because they should slowly, they need lot of temperature, lot of cooking, so that they can release the natural oil. So they are always added in the beginning of your dish and never in the middle or towards the end. Now a little stir. And one more thing, one more tip here. I like to have my vegetables crunchy and juicy. I don't want them, I don't like to have them mushy. So I'm going to cook accordingly so that I get juicy and crispy, crunchy vegetables. So there we are. We've added the carrots and green chilies and curry leaves, and we're going to stir, and tomatoes. So we are going to stir. There goes the carrots, and previously we had added the tomatoes, curry leaves. We stir just a little, and the cauliflower, the steamed corn, the fresh green chilies which we had chopped, and green peas. So we stir again and again lightly. Now peas should be added right at the end, because they are not going to take much of a time to cook. So the longer they are on heat, the more mushier they will become. And same for the corn also, remember. So everything we cook only for a little time, so that their juices remain intact, they become a little crispy, and they become a little crunchy. So that exactly is the idea. And now we'll add in the salt and the other spices, including the turmeric. Now salt, I always use natural salt. I will not use iodized salt or factory made salt as usual. So I've used pink salt again here, that being natural. And we stir once again lightly. Now another tip, the grounded spices are to be added towards the middle of your dish or towards the end of the dish. And that is the time when you're going to add water, or you're going to add the major part of your ingredients, so that the temperature of your dish goes down and your spices do not burn, and they release the aroma, and they release the fragrances and the oils accordingly. So they are added towards the middle, or towards the, preferably towards the middle, or more than a little middle. Now we add the peanut, and again same goes for the nuts. Always never cook them for a long time. They have to be cooked for a very short time. And there, now we add the puffed rice, or the murmura or the kurmura, and stir and mix, so that the vegetables, the spices, and the dish completely becomes one, homogeneous. And of course they should also become a little soft. Now we add the lemon juice. Now remember, juices should always be, natural juices should be added in the end of the dish, never in the beginning or in the middle, because they do not have to be cooked. They don't have to be cooked for long. We just have to mix them thoroughly. That is all. Never cook natural juices. And we stir and we mix well. Now this is the time to taste also. So we taste in case anything more has to be added to balance and to bring out the right taste that we want. Well, not required. This is absolutely right for my taste and tasting very beautiful. So nothing more is required. Let's switch off the flames. The dish is done. There we are. Looking good, isn't it? So we allow it to allow the temperature to come down. Drop in some fresh green coriander to garnish, and of course for the flavor. And he played. But as I told you that I'm going to have brunch, so my portion size is going to be double that of breakfast. So that is going to be around 100 grams of the dish. So there we are. This is healthy, organic, and the dish is ready to be had. So friends, how did you like the puffed rice and vegetable poha that fits into our plan of breakfast as I have demonstrated to all of you all? I'm sure you loved it, and I'm sure you're going to try it, and I'm sure you're going to share it with, yes, all your enemies, all your foes, all your friends, all your known, all your dear, and all your nears. And I'm waiting for your feedback, your comments, your suggestions, and questions, if any, in the comments. And till the time we meet again with another healthy and organic recipe, is thanks and bye from Chef Raj. Cook healthy, eat healthy, and live healthy.